welcome to this new video. In this video, I'm going to address one of the most common questions I have, or I had recently actually, is what to do when your ex doesn't respond after you do no contact. And we face that situation quite often actually, and I'm going to detail exactly what you should be doing, the mindset you should have. You'll see at the end of the video, you'll feel way more equipped than before. And as usual, no bullshit. I might give you some unexpected answers to your questions. Hopefully they will help you to grow, help you to make the right decisions, because that's really what matters right now if you want to get back with your ex. I'll see you after the jingle.
IGetMyExBack.com. Everyone deserves a second chance.
Before I start, I want to explain the concept of no contact. So no contact is really to give time away from the relationship. It's to give your space to think, to reflect, really looking at how you could change, because at the end of the day, you were together, you were madly in love. And I'm making the assumption that you're watching this video having had a strong relationship with your partner, where you loved each other, where you shared very intimate moments and very profound moments. Maybe you talked about getting married or having kids. If that's the case, you're watching the right video and the right channel. If you were just dating for a few weeks, few months, less than 6 months, it's going to be harder to use those techniques. So I'd rather advise you to quit the video and watch something else. I'm sorry. But the whole point of radio silence is for you to work on the why, work on the how, and work on the what. You were happy together. Something happened outside of your control, obviously, that drifted that relationship to split, to maybe build up resentment in your ex's mind. There are things that you've done, things that you haven't done, things that you said that created that breakup. So it's really important for you to use that time to reflect, to understand that why she or he made that decision. What shall I be doing? What should be my strategy? How should I approach things? How should I reconnect? How should I prove her? And we're going to look at that after in this video. But it's really important for you to understand the why, how, and what. And obviously, the radio silence gives that space to your ex. That's also, it works on your ex's side and it works on your side. Now, if you're not sure what to do, if you're not sure about the why, the how, and the what, don't hesitate to give me a call. I put a link in the description where you can book free consultation calls. It's 15 minutes. I love to get to know you guys and love to solve problems and help people to get unstuck. So if you don't know exactly what you should be doing, jump on the call. It's free. I don't bite. It's not scary. And I'll get a chance to speak with you for real. And so the no contact, when you will reach out, you really need to show that you've changed. You really need to show that you've grown. You really need to show that you make yourself happy and you can make them happy. At the breakup, it's always a moment full of tension, full of resentment, full of strong emotions. And sometimes the last image of an ex has on their partner is really a bad image. Really, that's something, the fights, the arguments, even if you, begged or pleaded, it really affected the image. So when you'll break the contact and reach out to them, it's very important for you to change that image. You need to surprise them. So you surprise them by entering the contact, by accepting the decision in a way, by being mature, by offering them that space that they wanted. Because a lot of the time, an ex says, I just want to have a break. I just want to have some space, right? So don't say, it's gone forever. I'm not going to love you forever and never and never and never. Sometimes it happens. Most of the time they're lying when they say that. Very frequently, an ex, when they say a dumper, when they say, I want to break up with you, they just say, I just need some space. I just need some space to reflect. So you offer that space, and when you come back, you show that you've changed. You show that actually all those thoughts that they had about you were misconceptions, were wrong. They made assumptions, they saw something in you, they thought you wouldn't change, but you've changed. And so it's also a way you show them it is safe. So if you are with an anxious partner, an avoidant partner, how you can create that safe environment. Because for them it's very scary to get back and to give you a second chance. They feel, for wrong reasons, that they are more secured, they're happier, there's less drama being single than being with you. So it's how you can prove them wrong in a way that you can provide them happiness, stability, balance, respect, and all this good stuff. Second, your partner may not be expecting to hear from you. You've done the radio silence and you said, okay. The principle of radio silence usually is that we wait for the ex to contact. In this video, obviously they're not contacting you. So what do we do about that? We do, as we said, we give some time to digest. We send them just a message to say, hey, how are you doing? A low, sort of what I call the low signal message. Hey, how are you doing? Or I went to this shop where we went the other day and I thought about you. Very low, you know, few words, few sentences. You have to wait for the other to reply on this. You could wait 2 weeks, doesn't matter, but you have to wait. You should not be the one spamming the other. You need the other to digest and ingest that information. Maybe you took the decision to send them a letter just after the breakup, an accountability letter or something like that. Wait for 2 weeks at least for them to digest the information. So when you reach out to them, the thing is you'll get this really strong surge of adrenaline. This is like, you know, looking at your phone, pressing the send button, you know, with maybe you see the last message you sent him or her, and having this like, I feel that reconnection. And we feel like we're gonna, you know, reach out to them. I want to get the validation. That's also what you're after, and that's why it's so hard for people to get into no contact, because we want validation. We think that we'll feel less anxious if we hear from them, because it's super, you know, it creates massive anxiety. A breakup, we are lost, right? And it's fine to be lost. It's not so much about you being having no value or being being shit or something like that. No. It's normal to panic. It's normal to feel anxious, and we feel that by connecting, by answering, by sending them a message, we feel less anxious. But what happens is sometimes they don't reply. Sometimes they take a while to reply. So what we do? We re-enter no contact. We see if they come around. It's very important to respect that rhythm. You don't want to be the one building up tons of message. This type of, hey, are you mad at me? Can you see me? How you see? And because sometimes now with WhatsApp or Facebook Messenger, you see that the other read the message. And it feels really, really annoying when you know that they read that message, but they didn't reply. Especially if when you were together, they were really quick to reply, and now you're a bit confused. Let them digest. Enter in no contact, be strong. And now this is the fun part. Again, you can send another low signal message. So you do just to recap, because I think I'm confusing. You enter no contact. Maybe when you enter no contact, you send them a letter. It depends on what you want. I'm not a big fan of letters, but maybe you send the letter. You have to wait at least 2 weeks before contacting them. If you don't hear from them after those 2 weeks, you can send another message, what I call the low signal message, and this one. You just check in. And after, if nothing, you just send another message, but that's it, like no more than 2. And you wait for feedback. Now, the thing is, it's awful to wait for the feedback. And before I disclose the last part, I want to remind you that you might be watching the video and actually you have no chance to get back with your ex. So I have put together a quiz to assess whether you have any chance to get back with your ex. Give you a score also to give you the likelihood of you getting back together. It's totally free. It takes 2 minutes. The link is in the first comment of the video, and you'll see assessing all the different situations, and you'll get a probability score. If you have below 15, it means that you should stop watching my videos. You should do something else for your life and move on, find something else to do. Moving on, Now that's the difficult part. So you've sent those messages. Now there's only one thing you have to do, is to focus on yourself. And it sounds like I sound like a broken record, but it's the only and the best thing you could be doing right now. Then they might be reaching out later, but do not put your life on hold. Life is too short for you to wait in front of your phone expecting your ex to message you. Life is too short for you to be dreaming about your ex, to be thinking about your ex, to be thinking about the future with your ex and expecting a sign from them. Now, you're gonna tell me, yes, it's easy for you to say that, but it's very hard for me to remove those emotions from my head. So I'm gonna share with you two very important notions before I end the video. You have to manage yourself, and you have to also acknowledge this. I didn't create that. It's a very famous, you have three circles in life. We have the circle of control, which is the basic one. It's anything we can do. For example, I can control, like I'm gonna raise that kitten up or down. You have the level of influence. It's how by your decision you can influence others. For example, if you make a joke, you can influence others to laugh. And now you have the circle of worry. And it's anything you can't control. When it rains, I have no control about it. Now, the decision whether it rains affecting my mood, it's up to me. And the point here is, if you want to be happy in life, if you want to feel less anxious, you have to focus yourself only on the circle of control. Focus on the things you can control. I would be lying if I could tell you, yes, you can definitely control your ex. You can definitely manifest love by incantation or stuff like that. Of course, you can influence, and that's what I do with my clients. I start from their circle of control, what they can do themselves, and small actions, but that they do every day, every week, that build up, and it would influence the other. You might be familiar with the law of attraction, which I think is quite controversial, and I don't agree with all the part of it. But I think in reality is how you increase your level, your circle of control, that will also radiate the circle of influence. But don't think that you shouldn't spend time worrying, planning, expecting stuff on things you can't control. The trains are late, fair enough. It's raining, fair enough. Your ex is not replying to your message, you have no fucking control about it. So don't stop worrying about this, because the more time you spend in this circle, the less depressed, the less unhappy you'll feel. It's very important for you, and I might use this circle in few other videos because it's really, really fundamental for you. Now, what I want you to do is to visualize yourself. You don't need to be seated like this with a hat on your head to do that. But you have to, I'll give you a visualization exercise that you could use. And the reason is that when you do that, you'll feel way better if your ex doesn't reach out. That exercise is really thinking about yourself in 6 months and having those thoughts. So thinking that I did my best. I did my best at working at this circle of control. I did my best. I was respectful. They asked for a breakup. I didn't play. I didn't beg. I didn't came to her or his office. I didn't threaten them. I have changed. Very often, like always, a breakup is just the other things that you need to change something. There's something about you. Maybe it's anger management. Maybe it's your fear of commitment. Maybe it's your fear of abandonment. Maybe it's your work ethic. Maybe you work too hard. Maybe you don't have a job. There's something you have to change. So think of yourself in 6 months thinking, I have changed. Now, You can also say, I love myself because I took care of myself. I understand few things by watching Alex's videos. I grew up. That's the whole thing. I think a breakup can be an opportunity for you to grow, for you to learn something. Of course, it's a challenge. Of course, you feel shit right now. But the whole point of a breakup is also some sort of a wake-up call for you. And if your ex is there, great. If your ex is not, it doesn't really matter because you did your best. You were respectful, you've changed, you love yourself, you grew up. You can be happy. You've learned to be happy on your own. You've learned to create that happiness and doesn't rely on someone to be happy. And you can make someone happy. So it's really about learning and visualizing this. Whenever we feel we're in that position, and it takes a bit of time, it takes a bit of work. That's what I do with my clients. I want all my clients, when I work with them, to be able to say those things. And it takes a bit of work, takes a bit of sweat, but it is what you have to do. Because when you do that, you have no regrets. You have no regrets, and what it means is that if your ex doesn't reach out, who's the winner? Who's the loser? You will move on way faster if you have no regrets. Or let's say the other way around. If you feel, oh, what if I said that? What if I've done that? I should have said that. I should have done that. You know, she said I've changed, or she said I should change job, but I was too lazy, I was too depressed to change job. When you have those thoughts, of course you'll never sort of recover from that breakup, because you'll feel like, I didn't do my best. By doing your best, you have no regrets, you heal better. And in a way, they are losing. Remember, you were together, happy, thinking about children, thinking about getting married. They had those things about you. They said like, you never change. They said like, it's never gonna work. Well, now you've changed. Now you're able to make her or him happy. And they don't want to give you a second chance? Who's the loser? Who's the loser? Is it you or them? I think it's them, because they clearly said, this is what I don't want. And now you can provide them to them. So, of course, there's ways to communicate, there's a way to work on that circle of influence. But as long as you do your best, as long as you work on yourself, if it doesn't work out, because sometimes it doesn't work out. Sometimes my clients, they don't get back with their ex, and I'd be lying if I could tell you 100% success rate. It doesn't work like this. But I can tell you that 100% of my clients, they can list those things and they'll feel way better 6 months after a breakup, or even, before. They feel way better and they have no regrets. And that's what matters at the end of the day. I hope it was helpful. If you like this video, don't forget to like it. And don't forget to subscribe if you want to watch more videos like that. And I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
igetmyexback.com. Everyone deserves a second chance.